Hey everybody, Tom Berry here with Investor Loan Source. So what I want to talk about is walking the real estate investor tightrope. There is this tightrope that we walk as a real estate investor between having the cash on hand to get rolling with our construction and not being able to get the money from our lender until construction is complete. So I want to, in this video, talk about how to walk that tightrope and how we help investors regardless of the cash on hand they have available to work with. The topic today is how and when do I get my rehab funds if I do a fix and flip or construction loan with your company? So we get this question a lot. Am I going to just walk away from the closing table with my construction money? The answer is usually going to be no. However, I use the word usually. The reason is every deal is specific. Generally speaking, when somebody borrows money on a fix and flip project or a construction type project, they're going to purchase the property with the first tranche of money, and the second tranche of that loan is going to be in reserves, and it's going to be dealt out in draws as the construction progresses. Now, I say generally because I would say 80 to 90% of the loans are going to be structured that way. There are rare examples, the other 10 to 20%, that you're just going to walk away with the cash. And those deals are going to be most generally on commercial assets. So let's take a look at a fix and flip single family loan, and then we'll jump to a commercial redevelopment project to kind of show you the difference in how those are held or how those are processed. So on the fix and flip project, you're buying a house, you've got a $150,000 purchase price, you got a $50,000 rehab. To keep it all simple, we're going to say that the house is potentially going to be worth $300,000 at the end, right? So we're going to upfront the money for the purchase price, not a problem. Whatever that ratio is, let's say it's 90% of purchase price, and then your rehab money is going to go into the escrow. As you are doing the rehab, you will then go to our website and click on the draw request. You'll request a draw, and we'll see what construction has been completed, and that amount off of the scope of work will then be reimbursed to you. You would then recycle that money on the next section of construction and so on. If you can do that in a shorter amount of draws, it saves you money because there is a draw request fee each time you request a draw, because we have to go back through and underwrite each and every time. So if you can do it in 2 draws, that's much better than doing it in 5. However, on a $50,000 deal, if you do it in 2 draws, you're fronting $25,000 of that construction up front. Then we reimburse $25,000. Then you use that $25,000 to do the rest of the work, and then we give you the other $25,000 as a final draw. If you can't front $25,000 at a time, you might split it up into 5 draws of $10,000, and it would work the same way. You put $10,000 worth of work in off of your scope of work, we reimburse it, you continue to do that until that $50,000 worth of work has been done. Your final draw is another $10,000, and the job is complete. That is the typical structure for a fix and flip loan. But when we look at commercial properties, they could take all sorts of forms, and those really depend on the loan to value of the project. So, for example, we have a loan request right now. It's going to be a second lien position on an apartment complex. A known sponsor, we've done deals with them before, they performed as agreed. This sponsor has over 3,200 doors nationwide, but they need working capital. They need $800,000. They're giving us a second lien position on an apartment complex that has massive equity in it, and we're going to give them that $800,000 unguided. Now, what does unguided mean? It means we don't care how or where they use the money. They can use it on that project. They can use it on 5 projects. They could take it and use it for a trip to Tahiti. We don't care. Because there is so much value in the apartment complex we are putting a lien on that we know it's going to be paid back. And we don't need that money to go into that project to make it worth that. It's already worth that. So that's an example where it's not a draw. At closing, he'll walk away with a check with $800,000 and he'll be able to spend it unguided. That's a term that might be new to you, but it means the lender doesn't care where you use the capital. So hopefully that's helpful for you. There are many other ways that these can be structured, and we take a look at, does it make sense? Does it make sense for the borrower, and does it make sense for us? And does it protect us and our investors? If the answer is yes, yes, and yes, we're probably going to do the deal. So if you'd like more information about our loan products, or if you'd like information about investing with us passively in our note funds or passively in our shopping center deals, just click one of the links below and we'll start that conversation.